Thanks everyone for coming back for another segment of Michigan Conservative Roundtable. My name's TJ. I'll be going solo in this segment. Please like, share, and if you haven't done so, subscribe. And how about tapping on that notification bell also? In this segment, I'd like to talk about a conversation that I had some time ago with a legal immigrant. Now let me say that again. Legal immigrant. It was a young man from Albania. And what I want to talk about is the things that he mentioned that really struck me in this coincidental conversation I found myself having. As I said, he's from Albania. And I asked him, of course I asked him the obvious, do you miss home? Of course he misses home. I asked him, do you ever intend to return? He said perhaps to visit, but he has zero intention of ever returning back to Albania to live. And I says, really? And he said, yeah, this country's free. He says, Americans don't realize how much freedom they have in this country. And he began to launch into all the different ways or situations or scenarios that freedom exists in this country, to even include saying that Americans in this country don't realize how free they are compared to other countries, especially that part of the world where he came from. This really struck me, and in our conversation I just kind of threw out that I had served a time in the United States Army, did a 3-year tour in Germany along the East German border, which compelled him to launch into the fact, in his opinion, how I had put my life on the line to preserve freedom. I very sheepishly informed him that I was in during peacetime and that really the most action I saw was along the East German border, and although it was a tense situation and scenario, I never really felt like I just felt as long as I didn't do anything stupid, I'd be okay. And you know, it seems odd to even think that. But in exchanging those thoughts with him, he still responded with, but you were willing to put your life on the line for freedom. Later on that night, I went home and I just thought about that conversation and how he was so appreciative of the freedom here in the United States. We didn't really talk political issues. Was he for this or that or any of the above? Honestly, I would suspect he'd vote Republican because the way he was talking sure wasn't in keeping with the Democrats. But I didn't venture into that discussion because I don't know. I was just kind of struck by his comments on the freedom we have in this country. And in thinking back of this young man and our conversation, then the thought enters my mind. You know, you got the people crossing our southern border from Mexico into Texas or Arizona or wherever down there, and the Democrats would put those illegals in front of the line of this legal immigrant who has this deep appreciation for the freedom that this country offers. And I just thought, gee, how much it sucked, and it just wasn't fair for him. You know, it is what it is. The Democrats have already labeled me what they want to, but I got to tell you, I really held this young man in high regard. I mean, he was only half my age, and to hear a young man like that talking the way he talked is what I found so interesting. It was the conversation I really wish so many man on the street Americans would have with a legal immigrant. It's the type of conversation that might beat into their thick skulls what they have and what they are losing. And these are just my thoughts. I was compelled to share them with you guys. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next segment. My name's TJ, signing off with be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me.